Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Happy Friday. I just want to hop on real quick since it's the weekend and everybody likes to travel and have fun and we can get out and do a little things. Made me think about all my six-figure earners, right? That's the thing that every entrepreneur wants to be. You dream of that financial freedom that six figures allows you to have, right? But what happens when you make six figures, right? What does that look like? What do you need? What are your obligations at six figures? Because six figures is a little bit different than a 50K, um, 25K. It looks a little different. And I like to tell my clients or people I work with that six figures is super easy to obtain as an entrepreneur. It's difficult to maintain, and it definitely requires strategy to scale. You can't throw a dart at the map and say, boom, I'm going to make seven figures. That's not how it works. That's not even how it works when you make six figures this year. If you don't have strategy, you're not looking at your systems, you're not looking at your numbers and leveraging that data, you're probably not going to make six figures next year. And so I wanted to give you guys two things that you can look at when you arrive at the six-figure mark. What is that? $8,800 a month, right? Um, and so we got some disposable income. So what should we be doing? Number one, you need to know that six figures in revenue is not the same thing as profit, right? So revenue is all of your sales, everything that comes in, all of your income, whether you're selling products or you providing a service to somebody. So if you're doing coaching, you're accountant, you're attorney, you sell on eBay, you sell on Amazon, Etsy, Shopify, however you draw income in, active or passive, your revenue is not going to be the same as your profit. Your profit is the actual dollar amount that you get to put in your pocket. So it's your sales minus the things that cost you money to make the revenue, right? So you want to deep dive into your expenses. You want to think about how much is your software costing you? How much do you have inventory? How much is that? What does it take to make the product? What does it take to provide the service? How much is your advertisement cost? Your if you have professionals, how much is that? Gas, software. A lot of my clients use Shopify and Commento. Those are expensive. How much is PayPal charging you? How much is Square charging you? How much is Stripe charging you? Do you need an open merchant? Like these are things that cost you money and cut into your profit, right? And so after you look at your expenses, then you're gonna want to check out, start doing planning because this is what is gonna allow you to keep more money in your pocket. You want to start doing tax planning. And so two things, or maybe even three things, you might want to look at when you are trying to keep the six figures in your pocket or 50K, 75, whatever it is your bottom line is. You want to think about looking at your entity structure, right? Because if you're a sole proprietor, you might do better as an S corp, which means you pay less in self-employment taxes. That's at 7% of your income plus your income taxes. So that's a kind of big strategy that a lot of accountants do when you first hit your six figures is we restructure. If we think you're going to be able to maintain um, six figures from here on out, because once you change your structure, that's a cost as well, and you have to be on payroll. Another thing we do is income shifting. So it may be time for you to hire within. So hire children, having family members, your husband, wife, something like that, that possibly have a lower tax bracket than you do. Yes, this is, if you do it the right way, it means that they're on payroll. And so there's other things that you have to do. you have to register with the state. And if you don't have an EIN number, you have to get an EIN number. And you'll be paying Social Security tax for them. But if they're under 18 and you are a sole proprietor, then you don't have to pay unemployment insurance for them. And then I'm not unemployment. I'm sorry. You won't have to pay Medicaid and Social Security for them, right? And up to $12,000 as of last year, your child wouldn't have to pay income tax on it, right? Because that's our standard deduction. So when you at the 6-figure mark, you need to plan. Yeah, planning and knowing your numbers, knowing exactly what's coming in, knowing the sources, and knowing exactly what's coming out and kind of tweaking it is super important. Once you do that, once you know your bottom line, your profit, and you cut into the planning period, now it's time for you to strategize, right? So what are you going to do next year that help you scale than you did this year? So now you might start looking at your sales processes. Like, how are you getting to your consumers, or how are your consumers paying? How many consumers come back if you don't have recurring services? Like, how do they come back? How do you reach them? What's your average cost per sale? Like, you want to know how much traction you're getting depending on how you're selling. So if you own e-commerce, you need to look at your conversion rate. That's pretty doggone important, because it tells you how long somebody is on your site and how much they bought, or if they bought. And you want to look at your conversion rate based on your business, but compare it to your industry, because every industry conversion rate is different, right? And so it's common for your conversion rate to be 10% or less. It is, but it depends on the industry and how much you influence you have in your industry. So once you make 6 figures, don't just get stuck there, and don't think you made it, because 6 figures in the grand scheme of things, it's not a lot of money as a business owner. It's not. And when you're looking at your bottom line, you know that. So that's all that I have for you guys today. Thank you for joining me. I got comments. I'm sorry, I'm using new software and I don't know how to. I'm learning how to use it. Good morning, Martha. And hi, Tori. Thank you guys for hopping on with me. If you have any questions, just post away and I will get back with you guys. I really appreciate you guys showing up with me. This is not the easiest thing for me, but I have been creating content. I guess that's the word, right? I'm creating content for you guys in the next coming weeks. I also am launching a class where I am going to offer bookkeeping support, right? And so you'll get to ask me questions and be in a community with other entrepreneurs just like you, trying to grow and understand their numbers. And they may not can afford, one-on-one, but even if you can't afford one-on-one, you need to know your numbers and you need to understand the financial documents that your accountants, bookkeepers, financial advisors, whoever you have working with you, you need to understand what those documents mean. And so you'll get to ask me questions and you'll get to ask other accountants questions and kind of get those burning desires, sell tax, which is a big thing. How do you hire employees? Like, what does that look like? How much you budget for employees, which are all big issues when you're growing. Having employees is probably your biggest expense besides your cost of goods or your inventory. All right. So I will see you guys later. Have a good morning.